and we will start off. Good morning if you're just joining on Facebook and YouTube. Focusing today a little bit more on breath work, but still obviously putting some movement into the practice. Feet about hip width apart, and we'll just come to raise up onto the bubbling spring. So just balancing on the ball of the foot and then slowly raising back down, or lowering back down. You can't raise back down. Raise onto the ball of the foot and then slowly lower back down onto the heels. So you're shifting the center of gravity, shifting the spine forwards, keeping the shoulders relaxed. If you've got any issues with ankle injury or anything, or this hurts, then obviously don't do it. Just do that slight rock forwards and backwards, just shifting your center of gravity, but raising onto the ball of the foot. And if you are barefoot, this is obviously great if you're doing this barefoot. It's still fine if you've got shoes on, got trainers on or anything. But if you're doing this barefoot, you can really feel the feet working. You can really feel where that contact with the ground through the bubbling spring, through the ball of the foot comes into play. And let's bring the breathing with it now. So breathe in just lightly and softly through the nose as you raise. And then breathe out as you lower. So just light breathing, not big breaths, just very gentle, soft, light breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, all in and out through the nose. Breathing in, breathing out. And it's about the same breath in if you're doing a count as it is out. So you get into that nice rhythm, nice flow of movement. Breath in, breath out. Let's do 2 more. And then take a rest. Good. Excellent. Just give those lower legs a bit of, or the legs a bit of a shake out. And then we'll go into spinal cord breathing. So we take our feet a little bit wider apart. Reason why we're doing this movement with the breath is to really get the spine moving, to extend the spine, flex the spine, get the blood flowing around the spine, get the energy flowing around the spine. Also get the rib cage opened up. So we bend our knees a little bit more. So we go into a little bit of a squat position there. I'll show you from the side. Let's get the movement going. Breathing in, lifting the sternum towards the sky, heart towards the sky. And then curling up into a little ball there, rounding the back, tucking the pelvis underneath. Breathing out and breathing in. And breathing out. And again, find your own natural rhythm and get that sense of the breath is guiding the movement. So that in-breath expands the body. Out-breath softens and relaxes. And again, the breath is just light, soft, in and out through the nose. Not breathing too much, not breathing too little. On your next in-breath, I just want you to rotate to the right and breathe into the right. And then breathe out to the right. And breathe into the right again. And then rotate and breathe out back down the center. And then we go to the other side. So we breathe into the left. Out to the left, into the left, out to the center. Don't know if you heard it then, I got a nice pop in one of my vertebrae in the lower back, and then we go back to the right. So repeat that, the same thing to the right. And then center. And then same thing to the left. And then out to the center. And now just keep going through the center and just make the movement smaller. So just gradually slow down the movement and make it a little bit smaller. So each movement is smaller and smaller. So you can come up to standing a little bit taller. You can let the arms relax by the side. But keep getting that idea of, as you breathe in, that expansion and then softening. And then so small that you're almost just imagining it rather than making any movement. Let the arms relax. And come to a stillness in the body, but just focus on the breath. Just focus on that light, soft, easy breathing. Visualize that expansion as you breathe in. Softness as you breathe out. A lengthening of the spine as you breathe in. That softening and relaxing as you breathe out. Nice, and then just take a rest, have a little move around, have a little bit of a shake. Shake the shoulders a little bit. And then we'll come back to our standing position, shoulder width apart. Let's start rotations through the spine. So nice and tall, lengthen up. Use the feet to really connect to the ground, but then we're moving the hips and the waist, and the upper body follows the hips and the waist. The arms just swing. Keep tall through the spine. Keep lifting and lengthening through the spine. Let the elbows just bend, so you're tapping the back of your hand on the lower back. And the arm as it swings across the front, just tapping on your belly. And breathing is just light and easy. Shoulders relaxed, upper back relaxed. And then if it feels comfortable for you, the arm that swings across the front, just create a light fist and just tap just underneath the collarbone. So if you visualize where the tips of your lungs are in the chest cavity, just tapping on that top of the lung point there. Again, still keeping the shoulders relaxed, soft, relaxed upper back, relaxed shoulders. Breathing in and out through the nose, nice and light, soft breath. Back down to belly with that arm that's swinging across the front. And now we're going to take a fuller breath in, so we're just going to expand the rib cage a little bit more, fill the lungs just gently through the nose. And as we do that, we slow it down. As we breathe out, we just slow it down into water waves. You can breathe out through the nose or the mouth. And the subtle difference with this is it becomes a little bit slower, but there's also a little bit of resistance. So it's like the arms are floating in the space around you. And the slower you go, the more you can get that sense of the space, the air around you, in front of you and behind you. The breath is light. And then coming to a stop, coming to a stillness, just bringing your feet hip width, just balancing for a second. And then we'll practice the move we did last week, we did at the weekend, if you joined the session at the weekend, which is a bit counterintuitive because it's about relaxation and balance, but it can feel a little bit challenging because we're holding a particular posture and we're relaxing into that posture. The posture is the horse stance. So take your feet shoulder width apart. You don't tuck the pelvis underneath, but you get that idea of just almost like there's a weight on the bottom of the tailbone. So you can just lengthen out the lower back, but we're certainly not engaging any glute muscles or anything like that. A little bit of bend in the knees, and then you're bringing your hands and your shoulder and on your arms in front and holding that position, lengthening the back of the neck. So you're in this position here. And what normally happens if you hold a position, then you tend to hold a breath. But now just focus on that breath, just being light and easy and soft. Again, in and out through the nose. That's a nice place to focus on that physical sensation of the breath when you're bringing your attention to the breath, is in the nostrils, because you can sense that very clear physical sensation. So just tune into that for a moment. So just breathing normally, not changing the way you're breathing at all. And then find any areas where you can maybe soften a little bit more. So focus on the shoulders and maybe the collarbone area and the top of the chest, the sternum. Down through the front of the body, the belly. What do you notice in the side of the ribs, in the ribs as you're breathing in, those lower ribs? And down towards the pelvic floor. And also the back of the body. So the back of the shoulder blades, the lower ribs in the back of the body, the kidneys, the lower back. And bear in mind, have in mind that movement, the spinal cord breathing. So as you breathe in, there's that very subtle extension and wave through the spine. And as you breathe out, there's that softening. So we're not just holding a rigid position, there's still flow and movement in this position. And keep that breathing soft and light and calm. And the idea is it does feel a little bit challenging in your structure. But can you relax into that? Can you soften into that? And you almost want to feel that point where you're thinking this is really challenging, but you then focus back on the breath, so that breath keeps you calm, keeps you strong, keeps you stable. To relax the face muscles, relax the throat. And breathing just light and soft. And then we'll take a rest. Good. And shake out a little bit. I like doing stuff like that where you're really challenging yourself, but you're letting the breath keep you calm and keep you strong. So it's very much like if you were doing a plank, but when we're doing stuff like that, we're often timing it. Can you go a bit longer? And you hold the breath and you start just to tense everything up to hold it that little bit longer. This is different in is you want to relax into that to hold a position a little bit longer. It's a really nice thing to keep practicing. And I think Keith said on Saturday when we did the breath session on Saturday about sitting and just focusing on the breath, and how after a while that position in sitting you start to come down into, you feel uncomfortable. So the whole thing about sitting in a lotus or sitting and keeping the spine tall is all about where do I need the strength, but where can I soften and relax so I'm not just holding everything together. And it just translates into movement, into exercise. Is when you get to that point, say you're running and you're going for endurance, you don't just want to get to that point where you just hold everything together and hope for the best. Is you want to be able to relax into that pain is the wrong word, but that challenge. So it's a great thing to do. Let's do some flow now. Actually, let's do some shaking first. It's quite good just to shake after you've done that. So you can just keep your feet in contact with the ground, or you can use your heels if you want a little bit more vibration. Sometimes you just need a gentle shake. Sometimes you might feel as if you want a little bit more. So do whatever shaking that you feel is good for you now. And here you can then take a fuller breath in and let that breath out. And one more full breath in and then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And just come to a stop. Feel that tingling sensation. And then we'll go into some flow. So on Saturday we started working, if you joined the workshop on Saturday, we started working on another 5-element flow sequence. So I'm going to combine this and do bits of that in our Tuesday and Thursday classes. The ones we've done before in the Tuesday class, we've done soaring crane, palms come down, hands come up, palms facing the ground. And then you're opening. Rotate from the shoulders, so shoulders rotate, you're connecting, I'll just come a little bit closer so you can see you're connecting thumb and index finger, and then back to center, and then palms facing the ground, get the movement going. And this is particularly focusing on breath because it's focusing on energy, energizing the body. And of course, the first place where we bring energy into the body is as we breathe in, as we bring that oxygen into the body. So really expanding, lengthening the spine, expanding the body to bring air into the body, and then softening. And let the breath guide the movement. So the breath guides that movement, expands the body, and the breath as you breathe out softens the body. Breath in. And you will find again your own comfortable rhythm, your own comfortable breath rate. So you may be going a little bit quicker or a little bit slower. Don't have to follow exactly, but the key is that you keep it smooth and that we don't feel as if we're chasing the breath, but you feel that you're just breathing almost like effortlessly light, soft. As you're breathing in, we're bringing energy into the body, expanding. And on the out breath, what I'd just like you to be aware of is the contact with the ground now. So that groundedness through the feet. So it's almost like as you breathe out, you're almost like rooting yourself and grounding yourself a little bit more, stabilizing yourself a little bit more. So really concentrating that energy, grounding yourself as you breathe out. Slow movements. Let's do one more. and then take a rest there. I can see some of you on Zoom really feeling it in the shoulders. This is good. Getting a good workout. So next move, I'll show you from the back. So I'll do the same side as you to start off with. Your left hand placed on your lower back. So on that kidney area there. We're moving from the center, so just get that rotation through the center. And then we're bringing the upper body into it. So as we rotate, bring the arm out and then hinge forwards and scoop. So we're doing big arm circles. It's called Zen Circles. So I will now swap sides so you can see me from the front, but you keep doing the same side, so we're mirroring. I'm going the wrong way now. I swapped sides and got completely confused. So if it works, breath out as you go down, breath in as you expand back up. And then same movement, but without hinging at the hips. So you just follow the hips, but we're not hinging forwards. So you do the circle, arm, but without hinging forwards. No hinge forwards. No hinging forwards, just rotating with the hips. And then we swap sides. So see if we can do a smooth transition, swapping arms, and then we can go hinging with the hips, other side. So start off with big Zen circles, hinging at the hips. And this is focusing on water elements. Water element of flow, relaxation. And then same movement but with no hinge at the hips. So hips still lead. And then gradually slow it down. Slow it down. And then just bringing your hands to rest on your lower abdomen. Bringing your feet together. Just for a moment of bamboo in the wind. Just closing your eyes, letting the breath settle. Letting your body find its own balance, so maybe rocking and swaying a little bit, spiraling. And then when you are ready, taking a slightly fuller breath in, opening your eyes at the top of that breath, stepping out. Brushing the hands together, giving yourself a little brush down. And finishing there. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's got you motivated for the rest of the day ahead. We'll continue with those 5 elements on Thursday's class as well, and we'll put in a little bit more of the tigers and the squats as well. But thanks for joining. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully I will see you on Thursday. Take care.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you. Bye.